art, blob, art, blob, blob, art. Oh, that's about 50-50. Okay, so I'll do the art first. You know what? Yeah, I'll do the art first. So I saw this on the Twitter, which is what every morning I wake up, right? I go through my routine. I open up the station, I ban that guy, and then I look at my Twitter and I get angry at things on Twitter. And this one is UN women. Women, on average, do 3 times as much unpaid care and domestic work as men, with long-term consequences for their economic security. Time to step it up, guys. Now, okay, you could say whatever you want about the UN calling, like family raising unpaid care and domestic work, like it's some sort of financial commodity. Like, we're gonna have to start paying like women, like, why, if you want to get married, you have to like put them on payroll for your, like, turn marriage into like an LLC partnership where you have to like pay your spouse to stay at home. That's weird. You could probably develop all sorts of weird communist theories about this. The main thing is the art, because I want to focus, whatever, the UN woman thing is whatever, but the art is something that I see everywhere now. And I did some digging. I found out what this art is, and apparently it does have a name, and it's called Alegria. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because it's a Spanish name. And guess what city this system was developed in? Why is she an egg? I don't even know if that's a man or a woman. I have no fucking idea what that is. But that's the point. This Alegria system, not Algeria, Alegria, was made in, not Tel Aviv, it was made in the other one, Los Angeles, by 2 people named Zona Herrera, which is a interesting last name, and Esteban Esquivel. So it's kind of like, I guess it's probably inspired by Picasso, if anything. And it's also called flat style, I've heard it, or cutouts. And I've heard 2 possible explanations for why I see this kind of art fucking everywhere. The first one is that this art is very easy to vectorize, which means because it's so simple, it's very easy to turn it into a list of geometric shapes, which can be scaled up and down to any resolution you'd need, right? So as we move forward into a more website-oriented world where everything is just a web page and you don't even need a fucking computer anymore, everything's going to be up in the cloud and you just access the HTML output from it. These vectors would be very handy for that. The other explanation that I've heard, that I believe more so to be true, is that these are the symbols of a demonic takeover of the entire world, and every corporation that uses this shit is satanic and wants to eat babies. That might seem extremist, but I'm not being facetious. I do believe that this shit is fucking evil. And I believe it is, no, not Cal art. It's its own thing. And it's sort of like the way that I've heard it described, and the way that I would describe it to anyone is that it is like the modern brutalist architecture in the form of art. And you'll see as I kind of scroll down. Actually, let me read this excerpt from Zona and Esteban Esquivel. It says, it was 2017. We started to pitch at Buck, where I had the chance to develop a style for the new illustration. And just listen to the words they use. Develop a style for the new illustration system that would be used all over the Facebook platform. I think what they're trying to say here is that they're developing a art guidebook for how artists working at Facebook should make their drawings to conform to a standard that looks consistent throughout the system. But for whatever reason, they describe it as an illustration system, as if the human element never factors into it. There are no artists making art. It's like a mechanical concept where the individual chunks of this shit is like bolts and nuts. So it's just that to me took me a second to like parse what the fuck they're trying to say. It's not a guidebook, it's a illustration system. And my silly illustrations were the starting point to create a style guide and a toolkit that had been defining the palettes, forms, and animations Human figures are used to add warmth and expression. They help build an emotional connection and tell the story. Characters are stylized and not anatomically precise. Characters are designed for the expression rather than the individual identity. At the core of product illustration is the clever use of simple primary shapes. Exaggerated forms are used for their expressive nature and ability to fit into tight compositions. And these are the examples. And you'll notice that none of these people have like a real flesh tone. Like this woman has like a high-waisted jean and then has like a midget body and then like an Indian woman's head. It's all so distorted and so bizarre and just barely looks human. And never, like you can see the color palettes, never do they use actual flesh color for the characters. You can't tell like where the fuck this chick is supposed to be from, what country is she from, what nationality is she. She's not a real person. She's just this weird, and here's like the same character doing the same thing, but like they have pink hair and pastel colored skin and neon clothes, and it's just so alien. And I think that's the point. It's like a bastardization of what, look at this, of what the human is supposed to look like. There is no gender, there is no nationality, there is no ethnicity. It's just, here are some shapes of people doing some shit, and you're gonna fucking like it, and you're gonna like our product more because we have this weird bendy straw human playing the trumpet for you to appreciate. And it literally would not even be worth mentioning. It's just ugly. Look at this. Look, she doesn't even have a fucking neck. I've never seen a human that doesn't have a neck except for No Neck Ed from 90 Days Fiancé. And the proportions are fucked up. You see two people holding each other and their size differences are fucked up. And it wouldn't even be worth mentioning if it was just Facebook, but apparently this style is so popular now that people are filling their portfolios with it. Like that's what they want people to see when they go to a studio and present their portfolio to their potential employers. They want them to see that they're capable of making this form factor shit that is just awful. And it kind of reminds me of like JavaScript. Everything is made in fucking JavaScript now. So if you want to have a chance of getting a job in tech industry, you want to put first and foremost that you know front-end JavaScript and back-end JavaScript. You know the language very well, and you know how it works. You know about concurrency and all this other shit that they do, because that's just what everyone wants. They just want fucking JavaScript for everything. And that's because it helps to have one language that everyone knows and that people can be swapped in and out of. You write your code in a way that meets the standards for the industry, and if you get annoying or they don't like you or you start costing too much money, they can just fire you and replace you with someone else who can do the exact same job and pick it up in less than a month. And like a fast food employee, you're just instantly replaceable. And I think that's the same thing with art. Like, we don't want to have an artist who has a profound impact on the platform and creates art that everyone recognizes and everyone is familiar with, because then when that person has issues with us, he can negotiate from a position of power. From this, it's like anyone can draw this, and we'll just standardize this across all the industry. And if you want to have a job making art for an internet company, well, it'll be like with JavaScript. You have to know how to make this kind of shit, because that's what's inoffensive to all people. Nobody can look at this and think, wait a second, I'm not represented by these people, because these aren't like actual people. They're blobs of color and like noise and artifact. So it's inoffensive to the customer. It does the job of having as the guy says, of having a human figure and adding warmth to their story and product. And it's so simple and shitty that anyone can do it. Anyone who knows how to draw can draw this kind of art. So it's a form factor way of human expressionism that completely strips any kind of identity away from the actual artist. In the same way that modern art takes away whatever heritage or whatever that a place has in the world and reduces it down to standardized concrete and metal bars, and is like the IKEA of a building. This is the IKEA product of art. I just hate it. Um, and it fits in with this I found, and this I found to be funny. I like how the baby's like 6 months old and just like sitting, like its legs is in her legs. And I like her face. She's got a pretty wicked expression. Look at her. After 30 weeks of being pregnant, the baby is now fully formed inside the lady's body and will soon be time for birthing. She knows it's she knows it's time. Okay. It reminded me, okay, I talked about this a long time ago. If you remember watching streams during Stream.me, I talked about this woman called Ariella Elovic, who drew these ladies pooping and then sold it to BuzzFeed as ladies, empowered women having their periods. And this is her. This is what she actually looks like, and this is her self-portrait. There you can see she's very, very talented at drawing the human form. And then she has the cheeky blog where she talks about poo. I like this one because I wonder if this is intentional. This is called the Chala sleeping bag. And it just looks like she's embedded into a turd, which is very fucking weird to me. She has a thing for cheese. So she's farting, eating cream cheese with abandon because I rarely leave the house, and she's farting while holding a giant thing of cream cheese. When I see this shit on Facebook and by the UN, I think of this woman and her awful fucking art. Prepping for a weekend getaway, a desperate attempt to somehow maintain digestive regularity. I think I mentioned this before too, but there's a certain group of people who have an obsession with poo and fart. And there is Saul Alinsky in Rules for Radicals. There's a segment where he talks about clever ways to protest, and he talks about teaching black people a method of protest which would involve going to an opera house or like an orchestra house and eating a ton of beans before going there so that they would all fart and stink up the orchestra house and embarrass the city for not giving them what they wanted, or by going to airports and pooping and just holding up the restrooms. For some reason there is like a scat obsession going on here that is deep and underlying and all present in a certain group's body of work, and it's very weird. Anyways, this shit upsets me, and I just want to point it out because I think we'll see more of it. I think everyone on the planet Earth is going to adopt this fucking shit, and there's going to be these fucking gross ass abominable figures wearing masks, and they're going to be sitting there on your government handout saying wear your mask, and it'll be a family of people it'll be a family unit. It'll be like a little girl, a little boy, mommy, daddy, but they'll all be like gender indeterminate and of different colors with mismatched outfits on, but they'll all be wearing masks. That'll be the important thing. Remember that. The entire TERF ideology is based on jealousy. They rightfully worry that they'll be surpassed by trans women who are literally always hotter than them. It's tragic and infantile. Just block them when they come at you. Here we have the creature. And I think this is safe for YouTube. This is a person. This is a person who needs Allegria to fit in. I wonder, would I even dare to try and art this person in Allegria form? I think I might try that. Hold up. I'm not actually a skilled artist, but I'm very tempted to try and draw this because it would be funny, I guess. So I'm gonna try. Where's my reference at? Okay. I want to use yellow. Yellow's too close to white. Let's go for pink. So you know what? Pink is pretty fair for that face. So we got like a nice rounded head square thing. And then do it like this. Like this. Now, then I need like a big swooping leg thing right here. Can I get like a thick brush? Come on, Microsoft, don't let me down. I need a thick brush. It comes all the way out like this. It was like this. Bam, perfect. Oh, excellent. That's exactly what I want. Not that though. Oh no. It was almost there and then it got ruined. That's beautiful. And then one more on the exact same side. There we go. That's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. And for good measure, actually. Oh, I fucked it up. You know, Microsoft, you've had like 50 fucking years to make this shit work. And you're letting me down. She's winking too. Perfect. Now this this is what all women are envious of. And now if you saw this on a oh, there's hair. Wait, no, there's no hair. Oh, there is a hair. Okay. Okay, fine. There. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. So when you see this next to a product on Facebook, you'll think like, wow, I 1.7k people watching this. You'll be thinking, wow, you know, this adds warmth to the project. It's not Chinese. Don't be racist. There is no ethnicity or gender or anything attached to my Allegria drawing. It is simply joy. That's what it is. Tweet this at the... I would get banned so far, or so fast. It is not a Chinese... Oh, fuck you. You've ruined it. You've ruined it by making it Chinese, because there cannot be any kind of identity attached to this. There. Okay, now it's not Chinese. And now it's fixed. If you try to prescribe a gender or identity to this figure, you are wrong. Now look, I see you guys trying to throw whatever will stick. Nothing will stick. I've mastered it. Now I can get a job at Facebook making these cartoons for their products, so that when people in the Philippines or China or Nigeria or Mexico or the United States look at it, they'll think, wow, I relate to this, but not too much. Not enough to accidentally, you don't want to have like a drawing that someone says, hey, this is Pakistani, to someone in India or whatever, you know. So I relate to this to the point where it looks like another human being. This drawing probably eats and shits just like I do, and it doesn't have any particular beliefs that upset me. Excellent. Okay.